So Lowe is a Grammy-nominated music producer. He has over 30 major hits in the music industry. His biggest hit is Money Ain't a Thing with Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupree. He's worked with famous female artists like Mariah Carey and the late Aliah, just to name a few. So Lowe is now looking to dabble in our very own West Indian market. So, Carl, tell me, how did you get into this music industry?
It was something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. I knew I was very talented, very interested in music. And so I went to Atlanta, went to school. That led to me meeting a hip-hop producer named Teddy Riley, who kind of changed the face of hip-hop with a sound called New Jack Swing. And I was in a group signed to him. And later on, I signed with Jermaine Dupree as a producer, and just did a lot of hits under So Lowe.
Now, Atlanta, Georgia is known for a lot of talent coming out of there.
Oh yeah.
Lots of talent.
Definitely.
Did you ever dabble in singing yourself?
Only when I was in a group signed to Teddy Riley. I was in a group. That group ended up being on Virgin Records. It was called KCM, and I rapped and sung background and co-produced the album with someone else.
So tell us about your music production company.
My music production company is, I think, is a elevation from all the things I've done before. It's allowing me to be able to expand in different genres, things that I always wanted to dabble in, from pop to rock to Bollywood, and I'm interested in chutney as well.
Okay.
A lot of different things I want to just get into and do my thing. I'm very versatile. You know, I can toot my own horn because I'm not too much good at anything else, but music is just something that I love and very good at.
Awesome. So what is your favorite genre of music?
I can't even say I have a favorite. I mean, I really love the old school funk. I love soca. I love jazz, pop. I mean, I just love them all. It's just something about each genre just speaks to me, you know, and makes me, you know, feel like I'm supposed to be in that world, you know.
Awesome. So you mentioned you like soca.
Yeah.
And now you're dabbling in the Bollywood scene and the chutney scene. And now even Bollywood is meddling with the chutney scene.
Right.
So tell me something about you and chutney. How do you feel about chutney?
I love it. I think it's different for me. I mean, I know it's been around for a while, but it's different for me. It's just something that, I'm just so attracted to it. I found out recently, in the past few years, that I'm actually, my mother's family is from Jamaica.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so I guess that's why I feel so at home with island music and, you know, West Indian music and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's in your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can screw the light bulb?
Yeah.
You know about screwing the light bulb?
Yeah.
And moving your hips a little bit? Is there any chutney artist that comes to your mind that, you know, maybe you like a specific chutney song at all?
I'm just open. I'm not sure. I do love, as far as the soca, I love Marshall Montano.
Of course, number one.
I would love to work with him. Come see me, dude.
Awesome. Well, I mean, you have worked with some of the biggest stars in the industry. You've worked with Jay-Z.
Yes.
You've worked with Mariah Carey, just to
Yes.
name some. I mean, how did you connect with Jay-Z?
That was through when I worked under Jermaine Dupree, So Lowe. Jermaine and I did a lot of hits together.
Money Ain't a Thing?
Money Ain't a Thing. Always Be My Baby. I was nominated for a Grammy for the TLC album, Fan Mail. And I really loved all those artists. I enjoyed the opportunity to work with them through Jermaine. And like, he really gave me a boost up, and I appreciate him for that.
So tell us about Mariah Carey. What was it like working with her?
She is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She calls everybody honey lamb in the studio. She's a sweetheart. Love the talent level is just, of course, you know, is just off the chain. Her range, and more than that, to be able to work with people with good personalities is always a plus for me. That means a lot to me because, you know, somebody of that level could be such a butthole if she wanted to be, but she is so sweet to everybody. She respects everybody. She looks at everybody on her level, and I really enjoyed working with her.
Carl, tell me, if there was one artist that you could work with today, who would that be in the industry?
There's so many.
I know.
There's so many. I would love to get at Beyonce.
I love Beyonce.
Yeah, I love her too. I would love to get at her.
I think she is the most talented female
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah.
In every aspect.
Yeah, she's great.
So I hope you get it. I mean, you got her husband, Jay-Z. So Beyonce definitely could be next.
I hope so.
So was there a music producer or a songwriter or an artist that has inspired you?
Oh man, yeah, so many. My whole thing started off with my love for Quincy Jones's music. And after that, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they just took it to the next level for me. And funny, Teddy Riley, who I mentioned before, when he came out, it was only like, I guess maybe like 6 months before I said, I'm going to either work with this guy or be in his camp. And I ended up 6 months working in his camp. And that was great. That was a great experience for me. I learned a lot from him. And then Jermaine, I learned a lot from him as well. And hopefully, Jermaine learned something from me as well.
Awesome. So Carl, tell me, when we think of artists, like Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, I mean, me looking at them on television and music videos, I see just the singer, right? And of course the dancing and the stage production. But there's so much that goes behind that with actually making the music.
Oh yeah.
And producing it. What is it like? What does it take to produce a great album?
That's a good question because a lot of the way things are done today is through the internet, and it's a plus when it comes to getting things done, with speed and stuff like that. But the way we used to do it, the way we did it was get together, vibe, come up with different ideas, see what the best idea is, and go from there. Everybody's feeding off of each other instead of sending beats over the internet and somebody does their thing and then they send it back. I just really love the old school way of doing it because it just connects the spirituality of the music. So I think that's always the best way to do it.
Such a key word, you use spirituality of music. When we look at a lot of artists out there, most people started in church, right?
Oh yeah, I did.
They started in gospel singing.
Yeah, both my parents are preachers, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's so interesting that you chose to use that word because I definitely see a connection with spirituality and of course singing.
Right.
And music is universal language.
Right. How else do you touch the soul? You got to come from a deep place yourself to reach somebody else.
So, Carl, your name, Carl So Lowe. Tell me, where did this name Carl So Lowe come from?
Again, back to...
that sounds like a beat, like So Lowe, right?
Again, that comes back to Teddy Riley. I was in the studio, and I was playing on one of his keyboards he had left out. When he came back in, he saw me playing, and I was doing a lot of solo work. And he said, "Solo Man." And I started thinking, like, that's a good name. I might keep that. I said, Carl So Lowe. He was like, yeah, you should keep that. So I kept it, Carl So Lowe.
Two months ago, after my mother's hospitalization, the doctors wanted to put her on hospice. And I'm like, they deemed her terminal. And I saw Mr. Thakur, I think the founder, on TV, and he was advertising this Indian community in Kings Harbor. It's a great Indian community where my mother feels at home and she expresses her happiness to me whenever I come.
I know when I come I feel happy. I stay couple and I see everybody and I'm so happy.
I brought my mother here like a month and a half ago and I haven't regretted my decision. It's one of the best decisions I've made for my mother. It's a home away from home.
Elegant floral design. We can help you beautify your event. No occasion is too big or too small. We specialize in floral decor and party planning for every event. Please call 718-322-9786. Please use promo code Lakshmee for a discount. Welcome to Platinum Celebrations Incorporation, event planner and on-day coordinators. Formal or casual, large or intimate, held at a private residence, dazzling venue, or the beach. Platinum Celebrations' unparalleled service and attention to details will take your special occasion from the ordinary to the extraordinary. As a full-service event planning company, our service goes beyond design and decor to encompass entertainment, linen and table settings, flower arrangements, party favors, invitations, photography, and so much more. From selecting the perfect site to achieving the perfect mood. We promise to guide you through the planning process from beginning to end, and we are on site throughout the entire event to ensure all of your time and money invested goes according to your liking. Contact Shivy at 347-432-8545 for a free consultation. Remember, Platinum Celebrations is here for your special day. Well, viewers, we are back on set at the beautiful Essex Lounge on Jamaica Avenue here with Let's Talk with Lakshmee. And we are chatting with Mr. So Lowe, who is a music producer. And we are learning so much about the music industry. And we're going to get to find out how he wants to dabble in our very own West Indian music industry. So, Carl, I've got to ask you, what does music mean to you?
Music means to me joy. Every time I do it, it just brings me joy. To be able to do different, God has blessed me with a tremendous talent. That's the way I look at it. And it feeds me spiritually to be able to do good music and make the artists happy. And I personally like to see people move and dance from what I do. That's what gives me my joy. But it's more my job to give joy to others, you know. So that's what it fulfills me, and it makes me feel happy to see people enjoying my music. It's kind of like a chef, you know. He may not necessarily enjoy making the food, but to actually see people eat the food and be happy about it, that's what gives him his, you know, what he needs.
So music, I mean, we have something called a cook-up. Right?
Okay.
In Western, right, cook-up is when you just throw everything inside. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
Your dal, your rice, your chicken, your fish, your carrots, whatever you want. You just want to throw it in there.
Right.
And you get this seasoning and this great taste. And, you know, when you eat this, it's so good.
Right.
So we can think of that like with music, right? With music, you have to have your lyrics. You have to have your beats.
Yes.
There's just so much that goes into
Yes.
making this perfect song, this perfect sound.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing in music?
It depends on what kind of song it is. There are instrumentals out there now that's just bananas, you know. But complete songs, I definitely think it's about the beat and the lyrics combined. You got to feel the beat, and when you listen to the lyrics, it has to speak to you. You know, it has to make you feel a certain way, whether it's happy, sad, or take you back to a moment in love or anger or something that just connects you with life, true life, you know. So that's the way I feel about it anyway.
When you produce a song and you want to connect with someone, you want to connect with their emotions, do you want to connect with something, like you said earlier, you like to see people get up and dance? Or do you want to connect with something like in their soul that may bring them to a certain memory or a certain time? Like, what would you like when you produce that song? Beyonce.
Okay.
Right? She could sing something that can make you get up and dance.
Right.
Right? she can sing something that can make you feel sexy,
Right.
right? She can sing something that would remind you of breaking up with someone.
Right.
Would you like to produce something that would touch someone's emotions, that bring them back to a certain time, maybe a happy time in their life, or a breakup, or a love, or you just want to see people get up and dance? Is there a preference? Maybe not.
Nah, I actually give me as many songs as I can do, and I'll make you feel everything.
Awesome. So speaking of that, is there a favorite project that you've ever worked on?
I really enjoyed the Jay-Z project, "Money Ain't a Thing" song. I really enjoyed doing that one for some reason. It made a lot of noise. I got to see a lot of people dance to it, and they still play it to this day. It's like a classic. And as a matter of fact, it was listed as a classic in I think it was XXL. I enjoyed being a big part of that record.
Awesome. So word on the street is that you want to dabble in the West Indian market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So today, I'm amazed. You turn on the radio, you can hear Sean Paul, you can hear Nicki Minaj, you can hear Shaggy. Now there's Jay Sean in the East Indian market hitting it. What has attracted you to our West Indian market?
The artist that you just named is a big part of it. The way it makes me feel, it was a challenge for me, not as far as doing it, but a challenge for me to just say, hey, try this, Carl. This is awesome. Just try it. And I'm looking for the right artist to, to bring me to that full circle of it. I think it's kind of, as a whole market in the U.S., I think it's kind of being just held back just a little bit. I think.
Why is that? Why do you think that's happening?
I'm not sure, but I do have some suggestions for solutions. I mean, as the music business is pretty open right now, especially when it comes to TV and movies, and I think that would be a great way to go to plug it in. So I mean, artists need to just hit me up and let me see what they got, and we'll go from there. We'll talk particulars, about what you need, and or if it's worth it for you or whatever. I would love to just do some things. I mean, I know I'm good at it. I know I'm just looking for other people who are good at it so we can connect, and just make it happen.
I mean, what I have noticed with the West Indian market, it's kind of like you just hear one hits, right? Like one wonder hits, like Kevin Little, right?
Yeah.
You just heard him on the radio, that one hit, and then that's it. He dies. Like, is there something we're lacking, or I don't
think it's so much that. I think
is the industry just not
when
ready?
it comes to West Indian music, to me it's always been that way. You have these like one or two big artists that they let in the system for a while, and then they move on to the next one. I hate to say it that way, but I think it's more so because the business is so saturated with artists. You can only just get but so many people and so many time on a radio station. So the quality of the music, the production just really has to be on point. I think that's where I come in, and I can help people with that. But you got to listen, though. A lot of people don't like to listen.
Of course. Well, Carl, I really hope to see someone of Indo-Caribbean descent, make it there. One thing that I've always said about our community, it's kind of like we're in this box, right? Like when we have lots of great talents in our community. I mean, Let's Work with Lakshmee is pretty much famous for bringing in our Indo-Caribbean talents and, exposing them and letting people know that we do exist.
Right.
But what I have, seen, experienced, that in the market, it was like, okay, you have the white market, then there was the black market, then it's the Spanish market, then the little Chinese market. Now it's like the East Indian market, right? Like people are getting, crazy about Jay Sean, even in Bollywood scene, the movies, the Indian actresses. But when it comes to West Indians, it's like, well, what are they? Are they black? Are they Indian? Like, what are they? They don't speak Hindi.
Yeah.
They look Indian.
Yeah.
They're brown. So, okay, white people are going to say we're black.
Right.
Indian people are going to say you're not Indian. You look Indian, but you don't speak Indian. So I feel like we've always gotten shunned to the side, even in acting, even in movies. Like, I have a lot of friends who've tried to get into acting, and They're like, you know, Laksh, they say we're not black, they say we're not white, they say we're not Indian. We're West Indian. They don't understand what that is.
Yeah, people need to open up their understanding because.
So, do you think we're going to get that opportunity? We're going to get out of this box and people are going to understand that?
I do.
Good.
I do. I think it's going to take, people with an open mind, though, like me, who love music and see music as a universal thing rather than a question of race or something like that. I just think music should always be universal. Whatever you do, whatever genre it is, you got to be heard, and you just got to try and convince people. And sometimes it takes that, sadly, to try to convince the key people to make it happen. But I always say, if you're great at what you do, just stay focused and believe in yourself, and just keep pounding the pavement. Keep with respect, asking questions, and more people like you who are in positions to help people be exposed, because that's what it's really about, exposure. And we need people with more gateways for exposures to to blow the smaller markets up a little bit more. And I'm glad you're doing your part. That means a lot.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now let me ask you, with our artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just based on talent, or is it more than that? Is it there's a look, there's an age? Like, what can get them in?
Sadly, again, it's still about people. The human nature is just so opinionated, and judgmental. People just got to open their minds up a little bit more. Like I said before, I want to see so much happen. It's like Hollywood. Like, they have specific people they want for their movies. Some people are not blonde enough. Some people are not small enough or big-breasted enough, and things of that nature. And I hate to see that in music. I think it should be more about the talent and not so much about image. But our minds are so visual, and there is a very materialistic world right now, and you have to deal with that. So when I run across new artists that want to work with me or whatever, and I'm just totally honest with them about what's expected of them, not through me, but from the business. We live in a world that size matters sometimes. So do what you can do. Just be the best you can be at whatever you do. And sometimes that does mean eating right. Sometimes that means going to the gym. I'm just realistic. I just tell them what's up. And if you really want this, you'll do what's needed. So
To get it done. Great advice.
Exactly.
Well, Carl, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and when we come back on, we're going to talk about a little bit about this new West Indian artist that you've been dabbling with.
Guyana, oh Guyana.
I know this school is a place set up in the community to help children to further their education, to achieve a goal, a computer solved. I want to thank God for the scholarship for Rebecca Jairam, sponsored by the school. And the owner, I just want to thank God for them. They can continue to do the good work as they are doing in this community.
I want to say special thanks to Save Happy Computer School, because my daughter goes into school. She do a computer course here, and she went for an interview at the Regional Democratic Council for a job with 49 persons for 2 spots. And she indicated to them that she do a course at say Bobby come to school and she do have a certificate. And as soon as she produced the certificate, she was hired on the spot.
Nanking chain of restaurants serves a large variety of Chinese, Thai, and Indian cuisine, prepared by seasoned chefs and experienced professionals. Check out one of Nanking's newest restaurants at 134-07 Rockaway Boulevard, South Ozone Park, New York. Nanking proudly serves halal meats, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and seafood delicacies. Nanking Restaurants caters to private and corporate events for all occasions in their restaurants and banquet halls. Nanking Restaurants, a chain of restaurants which are also conveniently located in South Plainfield, New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey, Iceland, New Jersey, New York, New York, Atlantic City, New Jersey, New Hyde Park, Long Island, and the grand opening of their newest location at 134-07 Rockaway Boulevard, South Ozone Park, New York. Reserve your table today at 718-323-3555. That's 718-323-3555. For more information, visit nankingrestaurantgroup.com.
For all your special private and professional occasions, no event is too big or too small. We cover it all. Contact the professional source for all your party or special occasion needs. We have you covered at Star Party Rentals. Call us 516-239-2242. Please mention Let's Talk with Lakshmee for discount pricing.
Well, viewers, we are back with Grammy nominee music producer, Mr. So Lowe, where he has been educating us so much about the music industry and his field. So, Carl, we left off talking about that you're now dabbling in the West Indian market.
Yes.
I know you did some work with one of our famous West Indians, Mr. Amit Inderjeo, otherwise known as Nabriggs in
Right.
this community. In our West Indian community, he is famous. He's known for his bhajans, his classical music, his rags, and we love him. He's amazing. But, you know, something that a lot of people back home in Guyana and right here in the United States of America that they do not know is that our Amit is known as Nabriggs, and he's very much into R&B, hip-hop, soul.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, how is it working with our Amit Nabriggs?
I don't like him.
You know what? I feel for you there. You know, sometimes he could, you know, I'm just kidding.
No, I am too. He is great. We have fun in the studio. We have fun outside the studio. He's a great person. Like I said, there's nothing, you know, greater than working with someone who's great at the talent and great as a personality. I consider him my brother. You know, he is the coolest and very talented, very versatile. That's another thing that I just love. I love versatility in an artist. When you can have a genre and you can incorporate other elements of other music with no problem, that's always a plus with me. I love that.
Now, have you visited Guyana at all?
Not yet. I plan to.
You plan to, okay.
Yes. Soon.
Soon. Okay.
Soon.
Good. Because, you know, he should take you back there. You know, he knows a lot of people back there.
Right.
You'll have a lot of fun when you go to Guyana with
I'm
Nabra.
sure I will.
Yeah. So I know you produced his I Like It.
Mm-hmm.
I Like It song. I like it. I like that song very much.
Okay.
But that was really good. I remember the first time I saw that. I was amazed. Amazed. Not, you know, only with the music, of course. The lyrics were good. The look was good. You know, Amit, you looked really hot in that video, I gotta tell you.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, you know, and he had all the girls all around him. It looked like an American video. It looked, you know,
Right.
something I would see on MTV. The quality was really, really good.
Yeah.
So, actually, my theme song for my show, he sang it.
Oh, really?
Him and his best friend, King Raj, sang my theme song. So you've got to take a listen to it.
Definitely.
It was really, really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. So I know he worked on an album, Bull Job, with you, right? So what was that about? What was that like?
Incorporating different elements of different genres in what he wanted to do from his soul. I was amazed by what he came up with lyrically after he explained it, because of course I don't know the language. But I was in love with the melodies, and he asked me to help people feel it. And that's what I did. I just came up with different components of the music to give him what he needed to express himself. So,
You know, I find it interesting. I mean, for the past couple of years, we have seen that Bollywood has been very much involved in the American music industry. There's been a lot of influence, a lot of Bollywood influence, whether it be in the sounds, in the dancing, in the clothing. There's been a lot of influence, yet Bollywood or West Indians or Indians really haven't gotten there yet.
they're on their way.
Where do you think you'll see our people, when I say our people, our West Indian people, 5 years from now?
Hard to say, but if they incorporate people like me, I'd say they'll be on top.
So is there a current project that you're working on now in the West Indian or Indian market?
I can't speak on the name of the artist right now, because they want to be, you know, some artists are kind of sensitive, and they want to wait until everything's completed. So I can't really speak on them, but I can tell you it's going to be fun, it's going to be nice, you're going to really enjoy it when I get through.
Okay. And what advice would you give to our artists out there?
Stay strong, stay connected, stay spiritual. Love what you do, and make people feel it.
And you know, one other thing is the music industry. It's very hard, right? We see artists, you know, struggling. And I've got to say that word, struggling.
You're right. Everybody's struggling right now. Like I said, it's so saturated, and sadly, sometimes it's saturated with the wrong music, and it's just sometimes it's hard for certain people to cut through. But you just got to keep trying. It's very competitive. You just got to work hard.
Just keep on working.
Just keep
hard.
working hard.
And would you recommend the music production field for youths out there that are looking at this show?
Oh yeah, definitely. My advice about that though, I feel like a lot of production is getting lost. And when I say production, I mean like techniques, education, and stuff like that. I think that people are taking the music programs and not really learning them, and not really learning their craft, and not really paying homage to people in the past that paved the way. I think if more people do that, there'll be better music out there, and better producers. You know, anytime I run across what they so-called call beat makers right now, if I run into them, I always try to give them advice to be better producers rather than better beat makers. Not saying there's nothing wrong with beat making, but production goes a little deeper. You know, helping the artists with vocals, helping them think about what's the best lyrics to choose. And again, a lot of that got lost with, you know, sending beats over the internet and vocals over the internet. It's kind of hard to tell, hey, you made a mistake here. You know, you need to fix this note. It's a little sour, or it's a little off, or a little off timing. You know, so things like that. You know, it's a little hard over the internet. So I just think that there need to be more producers than beat makers.
Great. So Carl, tell me, where are we going to see you in 5 years from now?
I'm more of a person in the background. You might not even see me, but I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Well, Carl, it was great having you on Let's Talk with Lakshmi. We
Thank
are
you.
so looking forward to you being the music producer for our very first Indo-Caribbean West Indian person that hits the FM station.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That means a lot.